everyone. We're back. We're here. It's exciting. We return with part three of One Night at Ollie's. Thank you so much for being here. For those of you who are here, we're really excited. I'm not going to keep things too long tonight. I'll do all the boring stuff at the end. For now, in the sake of time, I'm going to pass things around, let you know who they are, where they're from, all that cool stuff, and then we're going to get right into it. Let's start with Wraith.
That's me. I'm Wraith. I am playing Rosemary. You can find me on things at Sundernoia, and I'll be in the chat being weird and posting long Furby emotes. It's an actual photo of my long Furby, by the way.
Oh my goodness.
I had managed to get that out of my head, and now it just came rushing back. I'm re-traumatized.
I've been so excited. If you want to hear more about the long Furbies, you should check out our Ko-Fi, because after tonight's episode goes up there, we're going to be sitting down to do a post-show talk-back episode, and, well, you already see our friend is going to be there, and we'll have plenty to say.
It's just looking up at you, just longingly.
Yes, it's perfect.
The only way he can stare is into the heavens.
Oh, that's it. I'm broken already. Let's go.
Excellent. Then I'm gonna throw it to you next, Andrew.
Okay. Hi. I'm Andrew. I'm that gamer Ajax on all the social medias. But tonight I will be playing Ted, our 14-year-old slacker kid who, at the moment, is probably a little traumatized by everything that's been going on.
Excellent. All right, Zach.
Hey everybody, it failed already. No. Hey everybody, my name's Zach. I'm going to be playing Gabriel Young, a 16-year-old young provider who thought he was about to kill somebody accidentally and didn't, and he doesn't know if that's worse or not.
So before we get into it, friendly reminder: One Night at Ollie's is at its core a horror game. There's a lot of levity and some fun moments, but it is still a horror game. And to that end, it does include things like atmospheric horror, occult suggestions and symbols, and specifically for tonight's episode, some mentions of harm to children or young adults. If at any point you are uncomfortable with anything that you see, hear, or experience while watching, listening, or whatever else you may be doing, please step away, take the time you need, come back when you feel up to it, or don't come back. We have a bunch of other cool shows that you are more than welcome to check out. We'll never be upset with anyone for prioritizing their mental health. You do what you have to do for you. We love you no matter what. We've already sat down and talked about it. We have our safety tools in place, and we'll be utilizing them if and or when it comes up. So with that, let's get back to One Night at Ollie's. The last time when we left off, the group of you, after a bit of a face-to-face with Ollie, managed to find your way into the Winter Wonderland, where after some careful navigation, the group of you again were lucky enough to find yourselves in the presence of another one of the mascots, Lonnie Lynx, who played a feverish and destructive game of tag, giving you little time to ponder on the tooth that you had found lodged into one of the walls of said labyrinth. Finding some semblance of safe haven in the tunnels beneath the park, Gabriel managed to have a bit of a heart-to-heart with Lonnie that perhaps didn't go the way that everyone expected, but sounded like it went the way Gabriel might have thought. And after using some hard-studied knowledge from Rosemary, the group of you managed to make your way to the workshop, hoping to find some way to deal with the problems going on here. Unexpectedly, meeting yourselves a new friend, a strange figure wearing the worn-out, old original design Ollie's mascot suit that had been missing from the owlry that you had noticed earlier in the night. After making a careful plan to take this seemingly dangerous person out, Well, things didn't go exactly as planned. You did manage to distract them, and then ripping off the head of the mascot suit and bringing down a hammer. It was only in that moment that you realized there was no head underneath. With the head in Rosemary's hand, the group of you heard a very bewildered, "What the fuck?" Which is, I think, where we'll pick back up. In fact, as our camera cuts back in, I think there is immediately, as we fade in from black, sort of a number of voices screaming, a mixture of yours and your new, as of yet unnamed friend, as the headless mascot stands there, sort of reaching out towards the head that Rosemary, you are still holding.
I so badly want to drop it, but I don't want him getting his head back, so I gotta just scoot away.
I think I'm just hitting the plush body with the hammer right now. Just screaming, just ah!
And I'm going to be honest, I am also just screaming, not doing anything actually useful, just like pressing myself up against a wall, just pointing and screaming the whole time.
I think as you are whacking at this body with the hammer, breaking up the screams from the suit itself are like, oh, hey, stop that, no, ow, ah, and he's like swatting at you, kind of trying to get you away. He manages to hit you a couple times, but it's really just this like very soft bonk more than it is anything else. There's no weight behind these attacks.
So it really is like being hit by a mascot then,
It
like
is,
an empty
absolutely.
mascot suit.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
And as he like swats at you and keeps sort of like shouting, he's trying to close the distance and catch up to Rosemary, but he's not doing very well. It's clear that he's sort of a little bit clumsy, and it definitely doesn't help that he's distracted being pelted with hammer shots in the meantime. In after a moment, Rosemary, the head that you're holding starts to shake a little bit in your hands. What do you do?
I think I just shake it back.
And as you as you shake it, the like shouting seems to sort of warble with it, and it's like, will you just stop? And the hands on the mascot suit kind of like go up.
Just got the hammer like back, breathing super heavily. This is the most insane scene because if I remember, we're in like a blood-covered dungeon.
Kind of, yeah. You're in you're in like a workshop. There's like blood smears up until about a third of the way in on the floor where there's like a drainage pipe, and then a bunch of like pieces of machinery and extra like eye units and like pieces of framework that don't have any of the coverings on them at all, just sort of strewn and hung on the walls. It looks, at least in some way, kind of like a machine graveyard, like an animatronic graveyard. The lights are sort of flickering and not great, and the tile is this like very white but kind of faded white all throughout.
The heck are you?
Are you a ghost?
Sure, fuck it, that works. What the heck are you?
I'm a person.
Yeah, like what?
Wait, like actual people?
Actual children? Yes.
Children. Wait,
Oh my god, I think he's going to try to eat us.
no, I'm not. I can't. You know, I was going to ask if I have a mouth. I mean, there's a mouth on there, and he like gestures blindly in the direction of Rosemary. There's a mouth on there, but it doesn't work. I couldn't eat you if I wanted to, and I don't. I have no desire or interest in eating you. That's just weird. That's weird. Why would I do that? Why would you even think of that?
Because there's a lot of blood in the hallways going to this spot.
I'm pretty sure Lonnie wanted to eat us.
Lonnie wanted to eat us. Ollie tried chasing us and wanted to probably kill us. There's weird, like, all kinds of, like, witchy stuff going on. I'm just gonna throw up my hands. I don't even know what's happening anymore.
Well, what are you doing here?
Trying to get out.
Okay, that explains. That, you know what? That does technically answer my question. Thank you. Great. Why are you in here trying to get out? And as he talks, his body is motioning, like as he's speaking.
Well, we didn't want to leave without knowing what the hell's going on.
Oh. Okay. Well, can I have my head back? Okay. Hear me out. Hear me out. What is the difference outside of being incredibly unsettling between this and he like motions his hand over the open neck hole and this?
We don't understand what's going on, and you want this. Points to the head.
Goddamn kid's always so goddamn difficult. All right, fine. What's it going to take to get my head back?
I mean, I think a promise of not hurting us would be a good start.
Oh, I was the one who was a major threat here, not the crazed teenagers ripping off heads and wielding hammers. Okay,
We thought you
yeah,
were a
that
weird
makes
person
sense.
in the suit.
Well, I mean, technically, that's not wrong, I guess.
We're also fixing one of the animatronics that may be trying to kill us.
Okay, well, you have a good point. I can't argue with that one. All right, how about this? I promise not to hurt you if you give me back my head. And as he waits for the answer, he kind of like shakes his hands back and forth a little bit. And after a minute, he kind of like full on starts doing the Macarena.
I mean,
Rosemary, I'm going to take the gun back now.
okay.
If he kind of like walks over, and I'm guessing it's like in like your pocket or something like that.
Hmm.
It's like if you try anything funny,
Mhm.
I'm gonna go postal. Okay?
Are you gonna hit me with the hammer again? I was
Shoot you with the
effective at
gun.
first. You're gonna shoot me.
I don't know. You didn't seem to like the hammer, so
Okay.
It also set you on
oh,
fire because I think you're a little more flammable than we are.
Okay, let's not be too hasty. There's no need for any of that. That's kind of extreme, I think. Let's stick with the shooting. Shooting is way less extreme than setting me on fire. I like that plan. Let's say that. I do anything that makes you worried, you just shoot me. It's fine. No need to bring fire into this whatsoever. In any way. Not cool.
Rosemary does seem a lot less resistant to giving him the head back now that she knows that he does not want to be on fire.
Okay, I guess let's just give it back. It gives us something to look at, I guess, right?
She's gonna like set it on the ground and then back away from, because she's not gonna like go over and hand it to him and be within reaching distance.
And he waits until you've backed up a bit, and again he puts his hands up and he slowly sort of waddles over. And as he leans over to get it, you get a really good look just into the empty neck hole of this suit. Inside, it is completely empty. It's dark, but there's nothing in that darkness that seems to be hidden or otherwise obscured. It is just a straight shot down to sort of where the seam splits, where the legs of the suit would separate. And he picks the head back up and he puts it back on, and then he twists it back and forth a couple of times. Even though, as you were holding it, there was nothing at the bottom that would make it like screw-like in any way. But he just still seems to sort of adjust it. And then he like gives it a whack or two on the side and goes, "All right, there we go. Thank you." Oh man, it's just real awkward, right? Walking around with no head. Well, you wouldn't know. That's fair.
Yeah, I can't say
Not
I've tried that one.
Oh, I have. It's not fun.
I mean, I'm gonna like pull like my shirt like up over my head. I mean, it can't be that much worse than this, right?
Yes, that's exactly what it's like. You nailed it. Man, you guys are a bunch of geniuses, huh?
What are you?
Fucked.
Don't swear.
I'm
They're
I'm
children
gonna
here.
get like real close to Gabe. He keeps swearing a lot.
I know. I
right?
just told him to stop swearing. You're right here.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought this was a kids' park.
Yeah, well, so did I, but no one seems to be. I guess you're here now, so someone's showing up. But I'm gonna go ahead and roll the dice and say they didn't reopen the park, huh?
No, we kind of
We
broke in.
Broken. You broke it. That's so. You know what? That's okay. I'm not even mad. Company's nice. For however long it makes it.
You still haven't given us a name.
You can call me Bill.
Bill,
Do I get your names?
Bill the Owl.
Can we not? Let's not do that. I understand. I am not an owl.
I might start calling you Bolly.
I hate this.
It's a
I hate
mix
you
of
all.
Bill and
I'm not-
Ollie.
I'm just not gonna help you. Good luck. Bye.
Okay.
Okay.
Bill.
I apologize. I'm sorry.
I'm Ted.
Rosemary.
Teenagers
Gabriel.
always cause me problems. All right. Brave genius souls who have wandered here into my illustrious park. What can I do for you?
Well, I'd really like to know why like all of the icons from like our childhood are actively trying to kill us. That would be a good start.
Oh, I guess they're upset. That would be my bet. Well, okay, let me not lie to you. They're definitely upset.
Upset about what?
Well, let's say you had one thing that you would do, and that was kind of just your one thing, and then all of a sudden you're not doing that thing anymore. Drive anyone crazy after enough time.
I mean, my one thing is to go to school. If I didn't have to do that, I think I'd be pretty happy.
Uh-huh.
Just find a way not to go. Like, there's plenty of. Sorry.
Look, kid, all you gotta do is make it past high school.
If they're upset, why are they taking it out on us?
Okay. I have an idea. I will answer these questions for you. What do I get out of it?
I mean, I think not getting hit with a
Company.
hammer is a good start.
Company's good too.
Have you had any company since? Well, I'm guessing you've been here since the park closed.
He like shakes his head back and forth a little bit, and then he reaches back and he picks up the Martin Moose head. And then after a moment, he like shakes it, and the jaw like dangles and starts bouncing up and down. And he goes, "Oh yeah, see, I have so many friends here. Yup.
Martin
What?
doesn't sound like that.
You okay? Let's
Sorry, it's just the one that I like the most.
Oh really? Why is
Yeah.
that?
I don't know. High flying, adventurous. He's a moose.
Oh, I'm definitely more proud of Ollie, but I'll take it.
Well-
What do you mean you're more proud? Also, who are you? Because I don't ever remember Bill being on
The owl,
Ollie.
yeah. I don't remember
yeah.
Bill the Owl.
Okay. I am not Bill the Owl. There is no owl named Bill. I am a guy named Bill in an owl suit. It's not the same thing.
Well, I mean, I think
Difference.
you're technically the owl suit now
Yeah,
because
right now
there's
you
nothing
are
inside the owl suit.
Shit. Okay, this is fair. I can't argue with that. My name is Bill. I'm the guy who made Ollie and Bells and the park and the whole everything you see. That was me. That was all mine. You're welcome.
The doers, Bill?
And he goes to sort of snap his fingers, but all you get is kind of a low thump. Yes, that one. That's the one.
Okay, so you've been here the whole time.
Oh yeah. And not like I can go anywhere else.
Did
So,
you like die here?
Listen, kid, what I would give for death.
So did you put up like the wild looking symbols all over the place then? And
Oh, you found yes and no. Some of those are mine, some of those are not mine.
what about the
What are
ones at the
yours
top of
for?
the tower? Oh, you first.
No, I'm sorry. Hold on, just for a moment. You said at the top of the tower?
Yeah.
That rat bastard. That's just rude. See, that's this terrible idea. Everyone goes to the tower. People who actually care about the history go to the tower. People who just want their kids to shut up for 5 minutes go to the tower. Why would you put them in the tower? That makes no sense.
Well, isn't that where we saw like the big like kind of flash of light before we came in here? That's where that was coming from, right?
There was a light.
It's kind of what caught our attention tonight.
I mean, there's always lights. Was it like flashing, like amusement lights, or are we talking something more like directed?
I mean, directed if you're a
Directed.
witch.
What?
Whatever's going on, I don't understand. And the only thing I can like kind of refer it to is like the stuff that the church says is bad.
Oh, you're one of those. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
no, I'm not. I own a television.
And to you, I'm pretty sure so does everyone else nowadays.
That's what I'm getting at, buddy.
Oh. See.
So, if you've been here the whole time, then you know what caused that light.
Well, it depends. If it was just more of the same, then like no, it's the same shit that's been going on forever. It's why we save so much money on the electric bill. But if it was something more specific, if you're telling me it came out of the tower, I mean, I got some guesses, but none of them are good.
We walked past like symbols made out of body parts, and there's a large blood stain on the floor. So I don't think any of this is good.
Depends. Do you count bringing joy and hope to thousands of children on a daily basis good? Because, like,
Okay, right?
I don't
Yeah,
think
but
the park does that anymore.
yeah,
When
that
was the
hasn't
last time
happened
that
in like
happened?
it's been like
4
what, like
years?
8, like I think it's been longer than that. I
Yeah,
thought it was like 8. Like-
fuck. Time is difficult to keep track of down here.
I
But
mean, the reboot wasn't very good either.
hey, that's unnecessary. No one asked you, kid. Look. Not all that stuff is new. Yeah, some of that's been there. It was imperative, is what it was. Yeah, so let's not be so quick to judge.
What part was imperative?
The accessories you've seen down here.
You mean the fingers and stuff?
Did you do that?
There's a moment where his head kind of tilts down a bit, and his like oversized fingers go like this. Maybe. Yes. Well, look, it had to happen.
Why?
I don't expect a bunch of snot-nosed, rude, might I add, rude kids to understand. But business gets complicated sometimes, and you do what you gotta do. Sometimes, money starts drying up, and you have to look at alternatives, and,
So you do
whatever
human
works.
sacrifice about it?
I mean, sacrifice is such an ugly word.
Oh my
I don't think
God,
children can consent to death.
So that's true. I agree.
So it's sacrifice.
I prefer investment.
You can't invest in anything if you die at the end.
What if
You
you're
don't get
not
any return on that.
dead, though?
What?
Right, see? It's not so simple if you're not dead.
Well, if you're not dead after a sacrifice, then what are you?
You have shed this mortal coil and transcended into a form that brings joy.
I don't.
Did you kill people and put them in Ollie and friends?
Okay, no. I didn't kill anyone. Transcended them.
You had
Lottie's
to
up
kill
there.
them to do that.
Lottie's up there begging for death, and you're down here.
Well, yeah, because they'll probably tear me apart if I go up there. And I'm good on that.
Sounds like you deserve it.
That's unnecessary, and as a child, I don't think you understand the intricacies of what's happening here.
You did this.
No, I think I wonder. I wonder if it's possible to get Ollie down here.
I don't like that. That sounds like a terrible plan.
Okay, but
I don't think I like anything that you don't that you like.
And he puts his hands up and he starts slowly backing up again. Let's not be too hasty.
okay. I'm a kid. So explain it to me like you would a kid on what happened.
Okay, like how I would explain it to a kid. And he puts one hand down slowly and he kind of like puts the other one in front of him a little bit. He goes, Ollie and pals are very expensive. And technology is really complicated. And paying for that technology is also really expensive. And sometimes you have to find alternatives because you can't pull money out of your feathered butt. So we found other ways to ensure that Ollie and pals would be able to bring joy to the people for decades to come.
I think it just sounds like you're not good at your job.
I was very good at my job. Okay, hold on. And he
Most
pulls
people
his
don't
other,
have to kill people to make their job successful. I don't think.
So he brings his other hand back up as he like refutes this, and you see that he's holding like a wrench that he had clearly been like sneaking like into his grip, but now is so affronted by what you're saying that he's just kind of like wildly swinging it at you, not threateningly or anything, but like to make a point.
The
He goes,
gun
"Listen,
comes up.
I was very good. Whoa, hey!" And he drops the wrench and it clatters and it echoes out through the tunnels. And he goes, hey, listen, I was very good at my job. If I hadn't been stuck in here, then the park never would have closed and we wouldn't have had any problems and everything would have been fine. And there is no need to fire that gun. We're all friends here.
So what you're saying is that you would have gotten away with it then.
Well, no, you're looking at it the wrong way. You're saying like gotten away with it, but it's not a get away with it. It was continuing to heap the gifts of joy.
Who did you transcend?
Well, you want like a list of names?
Do
Oh,
you
yeah.
know their names?
Yeah, it's actually that's better.
I don't think there's an answer to that question that's going to make you happy.
I think that's a no.
It's looking bad.
I'm gonna nudge Gabe. I think you should get ready to shoot him.
I don't think you should get ready to shoot me. I think that's a bad idea.
Start talking, Bill the Owl.
First, not an owl. Second, I've been talking. We've been having a delightful conversation despite your rudeness and accusations. And I think it's very important that you take
We've
a
been
moment.
practicing witchcraft in our town.
It's not an accusation if it's a crime, and you said you did it. That's a crime.
Sometimes you gotta measure the worth of a crime versus
Money.
and then after a moment he like pauses for a sec, and then he pulls the like cart behind him that has Martin's head on it and kind of like whips it around at you and takes off running in the other direction back towards the cage in the backside of the room.
I think we should just go get Lonnie.
I sprint after him.
Oh,
Same.
damn it. Okay. It starts going to his slow self.
Love it.
It's gonna just fire the cap gun once he's out of the room to make it sound like he's shooting at him.
I love it. That's great.
We
I'm
don't know
assuming-
if he can feel pain in that suit, so like maybe he wouldn't even be able to tell that he was or was not getting shot.
We're just in an antechamber. I'm assuming it's very loud down here.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So the group of you go running after him. I'm not going to make anyone roll for any of that. He like pulls open the cage door, and there's this huge rattling sound as he runs into like the darkness beyond it. Leaving you guys with like a good view of what's beyond it, which is more rows and rows of these like electronical parts and mechanical pieces. Some are like hands or legs, some are like parts of faces, and there's a bunch of pieces of like ripped and now decayed and like unthreaded cloth that sort of hang from hooks that were probably used in older versions or as patchwork. You fire off the gun and it echoes everywhere. It's incredibly loud, and you hear from down into that hallway where he's like fuck, and he blasts off to the left side and like disappears beyond the sea of these pieces. Would the group of you like to continue following him into this place, or what would you like to do?
I want to get out my flashlight.
Yeah, I'm gonna get mine out too.
Yeah, absolutely. So, from where you are, at the front of this cage, the flashlights cut through the deep, like, darkness and give you a better look at some of these mechanical pieces. You can hear echoes of very soft footsteps sort of fading into the distance a bit. And every so often you will see the faintest bit of movement from underneath the like lowest hanging parts of these mechanical pieces. Moving your flashlight, it's pretty easy to tell that most of that movement, if not all of it, are rats or other rodents that have taken up shop in this place. There is the smell that you've become kind of accustomed to down here of rot and that sort of sweet mildew. And there's also that smell that comes with, sort of decaying bits of whatnot and oil. You can smell like grease.
If there's a kid in each of the suits, how many is that again?
Oh, we don't know if they're kids necessarily, but
Well, I'm going to assume they're kids.
I mean, there's probably more than that. I mean, why is he stuck in that old thing?
My guess is that he screwed up, and that's why he's stuck in that thing.
Well, did he screw up, or did somebody screw him over?
Do you think there's another person like him down here?
Maybe not down here, but around. Just sweeping the light, looking for this Ollie. Probably has semi-reflective eyes, I'm guessing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Big plastic, almost like googly eye things.
Oh God! Just the thought of seeing that, like in a dark room. Ugh.
And are you guys like moving into the room? Like you're
Yeah. Well, I mean, come on, he can't be that fast, right?
I move pretty quick. I mean, faster than me, probably.
Okay, Gabe, love you. You're not very fast.
I know. That's what I'm getting at. Well, wait. He had Martin's head, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he's going to the adventure park or looping around.
There wasn't like a lock on the cage area that we entered, right? Okay.
He's got like a wheelie cart, right?
so he pushed the cart at you, but it did
Oh.
not seem to have the Martin Moose head on it when he did.
Gotcha. I thought he was still running with the cart for a second there.
No, just the
Good deal.
head.
Well, if he's like the others, maybe he's stuck down here.
I mean, he said he was responsible for all of it, right? Like doing the maintenance and stuff. So like maybe he has a little more freedom to be able to like move wherever.
I still think we should try to get Ollie down here because, like, I think of anyone, he's the most likely to be able to, like, get in here. Because, like, everyone else, like, Lonnie was kind of stuck in her area, but Ollie doesn't have
Particularly
an
quick.
area.
I would like everyone to take a moment and roll me their grit.
Grit.
I think this is my first grit roll.
Hell yeah, grit.
Okay, that's not my worst. Ooh,
10.
That's a
7.
4.
All right. And what did you say, Rosemary? 7?
7.
Okay. Ted, why don't you take an adversity token? As the group of you are talking and moving about in this darkness, out of nowhere you hear a heavy metal clanging sound echoing off the walls around you, and then a second, and then a third, and then a wrench comes flying past your heads.
Okay, I think it's time to either run towards or away from because, yeah, that one almost got me.
And then as soon as you say that, you hear the like soft padded footsteps again as they pass behind you. And turning, you can see him running back for the exit of the cage, back towards the...
Oh, he's going to try and lock us in.
I'm sprinting after him.
Yep, same.
I'm going to just give Ted a shove to get him in that start because I have loyal and a bunch of adversity tokens.
Hell yeah. Okay. Well, remind us how that works real quick.
I spend an adversity token and they get a +2 instead of a +1.
All right.
Excellent. All right. And yeah, Ted, Rosemary, you can both roll me your flights. Gabriel, you're welcome to do so as well if you'd like.
I will try.
Okay, and then remind me, I can spend some of my adversity tokens to give myself another little bonus, right?
Oh, you can give a bonus yourself?
I believe so. No.
No? Okay.
No,
Okay,
it's
that's
for other
fine.
people.
Okay, so I have a +2 on my d20. That's an 8.
I got
It's
a
a
6.
7 again.
Okay. So let's say Rosemary, Gabriel, you both gain an adversity token.
And I was just trying to spend those.
But just remember, if you have easygoing, you get 2.
Good. You, however, especially with the shove, close the distance relatively well. It is just as he like gets past the door of the cage that you are directly on his heels and reach him. What do you do?
I'm honestly just gonna kind of like flail my arms and just like grab onto his back and just like try to like throw him to the ground. Like like when you're like a kid and you like jump on somebody's back and you just kind of like koala bear it.
Mm-hmm.
Trying that.
All right, so I'm going to ask you to roll me a fight for this.
God. Oh no! I'm not good at this. Let's
You're
see.
fine. You got this.
Oh, you said a fight?
A fight.
That's a 3.
You take the world's plushiest elbow to the face.
So here's what I'm going to say happens. So you jump on his back and are trying to like push him down, and he's flailing a bit. And he kind of like throws fists back at you. And the first couple, they make contact, but again, they're just these soft, plushy little like bonks that are annoying more than anything else. And then he continues sort of like spiraling and like flailing, and he's like, fuck, fuck. And then he throws himself back into the edge of the like open cage like frame. So your spine goes right into that metal. And you are gonna sort of just like fall and stumble back a bit as you do. But you are now still between him and the door. And while it's definitely not, you're definitely in some pain, it doesn't feel like anything's broken or anything beyond maybe a little bit of like daze and ache.
Okay. And if I remember correctly, I think I still have my pocket knife, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna like reach in, like flick it out, and just like hold it like at him.
What are you gonna do with that, kid? Come on.
I bet it'd be real annoying if like bits and pieces of you are kind of getting like caught up in whatever you need to move, right?
What are you gonna do without fingers?
That might be the darkest thing I've ever heard.
We were worried about this guy. It's Rosemary all along. That's the problem.
And he kind of like looks past you down back into the like caged area. He goes, Martin, now. Ah, fuck. And then he runs. And he takes off towards the tunnel.
Can I like attempt to trip him?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to say that we're gonna make that I'm gonna make that another fight roll, I think.
Okay.
I think that makes the most sense for me here.
Okay.
Or for this.
I was just thinking that I could literally just like throw myself like in front of his legs, kind of thing. Yeah, fights. I mean, could I make an argument for maybe doing brawn?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're trying to just kind of like throw yourself out and like Superman in front of him so he tumbles over you, yeah.
Yeah. And the thing, like, if I'm like taking damage from this, that's fine. I did get a 6.
Okay. So he turns and he takes off, and you're just one step ahead, just ready. So even though he's ahead of you, you dive past him, and his legs get like tangled up in you. One of his feet kind of pops off and falls by you, and he goes tumbling over you and like keeps rolling almost comedically until he hits the wall by the door. He is at this point missing his head, which has fallen off next to you, and the foot, which is laying on the other side of you. And he goes, God damn American manufacturing bullshit.
Would we maybe have caught up to them by now?
Yeah, 100% you guys catch up, yeah.
I'm grabbing the head.
As soon as I get on, I'm closing that gate.
Man, are we really doing this again? Come on!
I don't think we were done talking, Bill.
I go and pick up the foot.
Yeah, I need that for
Start
my
walking.
foot.
I don't think you do.
I open the door and I just toss it into the hallway.
No, but Shit.
Close the door.
Okay. So, And I'm like panting this whole time. I just, I'm not the most athletic kid, okay? 14.
No, you've done a really good job.
Yeah, you did great, kid.
So you transcended a bunch of people. You put them in the machines to keep them going, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you stop it?
Oh, you want to stop it? Why didn't you say that in the first place?
Because I'm trying to get answers, and I've been having a really shitty night. I'm gonna like look at Rosemary and Gabe. I'm sorry about my language.
No, it's totally go off, my dude.
Well, I personally apologize for your shitty night. That is absolutely Scott's fault and not my fault in any way whatsoever. But, you know,
You
nothing
threw
I
a
can
wrench
do.
at him.
I was defending myself
You
against
slammed me
a
into
bunch
a
of
hole.
Children.
rabid teenagers accusing me of heinous crimes.
You
The
admitted to
murderer
the
was scared of
crimes.
3 children.
Armed children.
Okay, to be fair, Rosemary,
You
are
shot at me.
And you straight
Yeah,
up told us
because
it
you
wouldn't do
admitted to
anything.
killing people.
Uh, uh, okay.
For money. Or to avoid spending money.
No, for joy. Joy. The money was secondary.
I don't think those kids are very joyful.
Well, who-
In fact, you said that yourself. They're quite mad.
Well, yeah, of course they're mad.
So it was kids. You killed kids.
Shit, did I say kids? No, you said kids.
I said kids.
Yeah.
But confirmation bias here.
I mean, it worked.
Just kick
That's
the body.
not better.
Oh, rude.
Is it?
I mean,
Okay.
I think so.
Okay, so here's the thing. Are you happy being the way that you are?
No, I'm miserable.
Okay, so did you transcend yourself then?
Fuck no. An asshole you have to be to do something like that. I don't even know if you. You probably could, but no.
So who transcended you then?
Do you not see the hypocrisy in how mad you are being like this and then insisting that they should be happy that they're like that?
When you run a multi-million-dollar company,
Fuck your business.
sometimes you gotta swallow some morals.
Okay, I run a lemonade stand in the summers, and you know what? It sucks, but you don't see me trying to kill people because of it.
Yeah, it might make you more money.
You're a terrible person.
I mean, we could debate that all day.
No.
I don't even know what time it is.
I think objectively, you're a pretty terrible person, Bill.
Looking at my watch, what time is it?
I'd say it's probably getting close to midnight.
I know what time it is.
Don't keep us in suspense.
No.
Well, thanks for that.
Okay.
So now what? Now we just sit here and you yell at me for eternity? I don't need to eat. I don't need to sleep. I'll outlast you.
Well, let's have a story. Tell us what happened.
All right. Fine. It's not like I can go anywhere anyway. I will request that I have my foot and my head back when I'm done, but who the fuck knows? So once upon a time, there was a lovely young man by the name of Bill who desperately wanted to bring joy to as many people as he possibly could. And so he did so through the medium of puppetry. So was born Ollie and Pals. It's an excellent story that you've probably heard over in the Owlery back when you were wee little tykes and the park was open and glorious and I was still able to ensure that things worked the way they were supposed to. But then one day, long after success had become the name of the game, an evil vice president of marketing named Scott decided that he wanted to be in charge, and then he fucked me over, and here we are. Did you mean the kid stuff?
Yes.
Oh, well, about halfway through our story, when the great kingdom of I'm gonna drop this nonsense because it's getting really annoying. I hope that's fine.
Yeah,
It's
look,
pandering. It's
yeah,
kind of-
yeah.
Things were going good for a while, and then I came up with the idea for the animatronics, and let me tell you, the first version of these things were a fucking nightmare, man. A bunch of people lost like fingers and arms and stuff. It was bad. It wasn't working. Technology just wasn't where it needed to be to make this happen. And no amount of money could change that. And trust me, I tried. We almost went completely bankrupt on that. It was not good. So then, through some perusings, I happened to stumble across a book that suggested that maybe there was a way to ensure that these great, wonderful, joy-bringing animatronics would be a bit more safe and do the things they're supposed to. So we decided to take the little bit of money we had left and invest it that way instead. And lo and behold, it worked. Granted, it took a couple of sacrifices, but business always does. And that was kind of that. I mean, there were back when we had the mascots before we had the animatronics, it was some parents suck, man. You just don't pay attention, you're not looking after your kid, and you just kind of wander off, and it's real sad. Yeah, so that was a thing, and we made it, and it worked, and that was great, and we were doing good. We were gonna open another park. Did you know that? Out in California. Yep. We were gonna say fuck the mouse, but then VP of marketing Scott decided it would be a good idea to let's call it a hostile takeover. But see, Scott, for all his marketing brilliance, doesn't know how to run a fucking park, doesn't know how to make sure that the animatronics stay happy, doesn't know how to make sure any of this works the way it's supposed to, because he's not a fucking businessman. He's a door-to-door fucking salesman. Scott's just some asshole who had one good idea and just keeps grinding it out, and he won't stop. And everyone thought he was a genius, and here we are. He fucked me. Now I'm here. The park closed down because they didn't know how to keep this stuff running without me, and I wasn't gonna help them after that. And then, without a real purpose, and a seemingly, direct line to me, Ollie and pals. They stopped finding joy because they stopped bringing joy, and now they're just real mad.
And when did you end up in the suit?
1993.
How? Or was that the hostile takeover part?
That was the hostile takeover.
Okay, you meant hostile literally, not like
Oh,
the business.
absolutely,
Okay.
yeah.
Is Scott still here?
Here? No. Fuck no.
It's probably New York
No.
or something like that with the firm.
I
Nice
have no
pen.
idea.
Did they sell the property? I can't remember if they sold the property or not.
They never sold the property. As
Oh,
far
no,
as
no.
anyone-
I meant the intellectual property.
No one knows. Hasn't heard head or tails of it since the park closed.
Okay, so I guess um gonna point down at Bill. You stay there, and then I'm gonna look at the other two. Quick huddle.
Huddle with him in sight.
Yeah, no, definitely. Just we're gonna whisper.
Bill, 1 second. Just stay there.
I got nowhere
I'm
to
gonna,
be.
I'm gonna, I'm
You
gonna
just
throw
gotta
his head in the opposite direction
Yeah, he
that he is from
walks
us.
over
So
to the
that, like,
body.
if he wanted to get his head, he would have to pass by us.
Walk by the body and pop off the other leg and just like
No,
drop it a couple feet away. Just
Come
wait. I'll get that
on.
back for you.
Goddamn kids.
The hostile take over this workshop.
So I'm just worried on like how my voice will pick up if I'm actually like whispering.
Mm.
So everything's being said in whispers. So what brought you guys to the park? Like original, like what brought you here? Other than the light.
Know what was going on?
Okay, I've been having recurring nightmares about this place for like weeks now.
Every time I close my eyes, I've had dreams about it. I haven't slept in 3-4 months. Thought it was the stress.
I mean, I've been seeing things in the mirrors.
That's way scarier than nightmares.
I mean, Ollie tries to like drag me
Stop
out of
looking
the
at me.
Ferris wheel and throw me out, but you know, it's
I get
Okay.
walked up to Lonnie's labyrinth and then handed off to her. Not in like a creepy way, but like in a literal Lonnie holds my hand and then we walk into the labyrinth together.
okay. But like we can admit that like that's a kind of recent change, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Do you think he might know what's going on? Like why we've been like having these nightmares? Because I feel like we were like called to this place, and it's freaky.
It's possible. 1 second. Bill,
Oh, yeah.
any other kids or people come here
I
Like I
mean,
said-
not
that you know of?
that I know of. But I've been down here.
Haven't found any like corpses or anything like that. Just
Not down here.
not down here. Okay, thank you.
Yep. Got my head back now.
No.
No.
Soon
just-
we're almost done.
The one-legged, footless, headless body, the shoulders sort of like sag a little bit, and just kind of like goes down.
You're doing
Oh.
great, buddy.
Yeah, you know what? If you were a better person, this wouldn't be happening to you.
Because we would be able to pop you apart like that.
I still think we should give him to the animatronics.
Okay, but like,
Well, like each
so
Each
do you think we've been like called to get him to them, kind of thing, or are they just trying to kill us?
I mean, I think he's right. They're mad, but like
do we give them each one
like
piece
you
of
know,
him?
well,
How
like
many?
like younger kids, they'll throw tantrums and they'll be angry at everything, even though it's like they're like hungry, but they're mad at everything because they're hungry. Maybe it's just like that, except they're mad at everything because they're mad at him. So give them him. I don't know if it would like fix everything, but at least I would feel better about it because
There's what?
that's real
8?
messed up.
There's 8 animatronics. How many pieces does Bill break down into? Let's see. We got the
I mean,
head.
I think we just bring him up to
I
Ollie
don't-
and let him
I don't know
sort
if
it
he
out.
can go up. That's the thing, though, because if he works under the same rules as the others,
Well, maybe he. Well, okay.
we can try
He-
with the foot out in the hall.
So he's not an animatronic, though. He's just like an empty suit. Also, he wouldn't be going because he wanted to. We'd be dragging him out there. I think that probably has like a different, like, I don't think we'd physically be able to drag Ollie anywhere, but like if we could, I think I don't think there's like a visible wall.
Said Lonnie's probably still at the door. Could try with the foot. Watch what happens.
Just toss it in like a dog treat.
Yeah. It'd be like throwing a bird foot into a lynx's enclosure.
I think that's a
Okay.
great idea. I think we should give Lonnie a foot.
Okay, so like, obviously, like I'm in favor of giving him over, right? Like, I think we can just all agree he's objectively just a bad person. He's a very bad man.
Let's take a look. Bill's still just sitting there. He crawled over.
No, he's just sort of slumped there, and you can hear him very lowly, sort of humming and muttering to himself, but nothing like discernible.
But like, once we're done with that, do we just try to run away, or are we trying to like solve this? Because this seems like it's been going on for a long time.
Well, you know how I said that I didn't want to destroy the symbols because I didn't know what that would do?
Yeah.
Well, from what it sounds like, so he said not all the symbols are his. So that means that they're the other dudes, which did this to him. So maybe if we did get rid of the symbols and stuff, that would fix it?
Have to
Or
find.
like, I don't know, bury the parts.
Well, I'm just saying though that quite frankly, this asshole did it, so he should know how to undo it.
Should we just ask?
Hey, Bill,
Ah,
since you did all this, you know how to undo it, right?
most of it. I mean, yes. Yeah, I could. Yes. Yep.
Would that help you two
Ow.
in the end?
See, I don't want to answer that question, kid, because I feel like if I say yes, then you might not do it anyway, and if I say no, then I can't really read you so well. So,
Well,
Give
if
me
you don't
back
tell us
my-
how to do it, we can't do it either way.
okay, so give me back my pieces, and I will tell you how to do it. Except my okay,
No.
okay. Give me back everything but my feet, so I can't run, and then I'll tell you how to do it, and then you can give me back my feet.
Oh, we can just hand him his head.
Tell us how to do it. We're going to drag you up to Ollie.
Ooh.
Well,
I mean,
fuck
Lonnie's pretty
you,
clo-
kid.
I mean, Lonnie's pretty close, and she definitely seemed very mad.
All right. Let's not start feeding anyone to anyone. Yeah. Look,
Actually, would that even kill you? Because like,
They just rip and tear, right? That's what
I
they
mean,
do.
yeah,
Yes,
that's what
it
my
would.
knife would do.
Yep. I don't want to go through that. How would you feel living your eternal, immortal life as a bunch of shredded pieces of felt?
I think you should have thought
I
about
feel
that
pretty
before you
good if it
started
was
doing.
you.
Well, we can't change what we did in the past. But I'll tell you what, out of the goodness of my heart, because I have remorse and I have seen the light, I will tell you how to fix this.
Does he seem like he's actually being genuine about like being remorseful?
Fuck no. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
But no,
No,
not
no,
even a little
Okay.
bit.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
And in exchange, perhaps, so that I can send you on your way, you will return my pieces to me so I don't just have to sit here as a twitching, immobile mess until you figure this out. Well, until you do the things that I tell you need to do. But if
We'll
not,
think about it.
okay, see, now we're making progress. All right. So, if you want to fix this, you're on the right track. So, I didn't know about the stuff in the tower at the Owlery, but that stuff, along with a number of other ones, both down here and over in Action Park, can all be it's a good word for it, made useless if you just get rid of the main source of what's keeping the park running.
You said that was joy.
That was a metaphor. It's
Okay, so-
not. Who is here that's joyful? Why do you think that the lights still work and like things
Did you
make
say we just
sound?
have to kill the power?
Yes. But it's not like unplugging a thing. Okay. So you know how in Action Park there's the adventure zone
Mhm.
with the cool temple. Hey, y'all are gonna love this. You gotta go into the temple, and then at the core room where there's that stupid little idol, behind that is a door that leads into a staff room. You gotta push on the wall. It'll pop open on you. In there, you'll find the energy source for the park. All you gotta do is take care of that, and boom, done. That's it.
And then this place is like dead for good, right?
No more Ollie, no more Lonnie, no more any of the others, and no more good old Bill.
You're just wanting to pass on then? Is that what you're...
Oh, so bad.
I still think we should give him to Ollie.
Don't like that plan. I thought we were being friends. I was helping you out. You're gonna help me out. There's no need for all that.
Well,
That's
I think it's too nice to just let you go without letting them talk to you first.
I don't think there's gonna be a lot of talking if they do that. It's probably
That's up
mostly
to
gonna be-
them.
I don't like that. I don't think it should be up to them. I think we're perfectly fine with the roles that we have presently
I think
as we are.
I
and
think
Yep. You might
for
have thought
once
about
in their afterlife, they should have a say in something.
also you probably should have thought about that before you kidnapped and killed kids.
Well, I mean, I didn't know it was gonna end up this way.
You should
I
have thought
couldn't
that
really
you know what? Like, look, here's the thing: is that my sister tells me that if you do bad things, it will bite you in the ass, and this one seems to have really bit you in the ass. God, I need to take up swearing. This is so much fun.
Is there any like chain, like loose chain or rope or something around here?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a bunch of chains that are like hung on hooks by the walls.
I want to like essentially want to like jerry rig something that I can like drag the guy through. I want to tie him up with chain.
Yeah, you can absolutely do that. You can find a lock if you want to like lock it. Yeah, you can absolutely just like wrap them up in chains if you want. I will tell you that as you like grab the chains and begin to do this, you do realize you're gonna have to make it really tight because there's not much mass going on there, and it's all pretty malleable.
Can she
So it's
not
basically
run it
just
through?
like hourglassed out.
Well, my thought was, why don't you run it leg to neck? So he's chained on the inside?
You could absolutely do that.
I like that plan.
Okay.
I like that plan.
While you do that, I need to go get his foot. I want to see something. So let me know. I will be a minute. Bill, I'm going to go get your foot for you, okay?
Great, thank you. I deeply appreciate that.
Okay. I open the
And
door.
can I have my leg back too? The leg? I'd like the leg. The leg and the foot.
Well, this one's in the hallway.
All right.
I'll be back once I find this foot and interrogate it.
Wait, I'm sorry. What?
Close the door and I go find it.
Sure. Yeah, and it's exactly where you left it, just kind of discarded, half upside down.
Half jog to Lonnie's snowy wonderland.
Sure. It's a bit of a walk getting back there. But you do, and when you return there, going up the stairs towards the door, you can still it's hard to explain. You can't hear or see anything, but you can still almost feel her presence on the other side.
Gonna put my ear to the door. Do I hear any of that whirring?
Yeah, you hear the faintest little like clicking and whirring of gears.
Lonnie, I brought you a gift.
Yeah.
I'm going to open the door just a little bit. Please don't eat me. And I'm like, I got it like, you know when they're like, this is how you feed a hippopotamus without losing your hand? Basically, I'm going to pop this door open, toss the foot in, and close the door.
So you pop the door open, and I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask you to make me. I think I'm gonna have this fall under. I think I'm gonna have this fall under flight, unless you have something else that you would argue for.
I was hoping for grit because this is a high stress situation.
We can absolutely do grit. Yeah.
Oh, thank God. 15.
This was not the roll to roll low on. So you take a moment and you study yourself. Make sure you have a good grip on the handle. You open the door and you toss the foot. And
Slam the
as you go to like slam it shut, it stops just before it closes. And you can feel pressure against it for a moment. And then you hear a whirring. And then the pressure is gone. And the door closes.
That's
For a
the one that
moment,
hurt you,
there's
right?
silence. And you say that, and there's no response. And then, after a moment, you hear a like clattering sound. And then smashing. And you can hear things breaking on the other side of the door. It's just absolute discordant turmoil on the other side. You can hear wood splintering and bits of like dry wood being like cracked and even bits of metal like tearing.
What did the others hear?
You're far enough away that they don't hear any of that. But as you are threading this chain through Bill, who is like nonstop rapid fire trying to talk you out of doing this, after a moment, he just sort of like seizes up. And then he goes, don't like that.
What?
It's just some chain. You're
Where's your
fine.
friend? Where's your friend? What did he do? Where's your friend?
I
What
don't
did he
know.
do? No, you go find out right now. You go find out right now. I swear to God. Goddamn teenagers. You fucking kids. You.
Hey, Rosemary, you're about done with the chain, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think that
Dragging
if
with
that's
us?
yeah, I think we should just go as a group.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go meet up with him.
Yeah,
Wait,
safety in
are we-
numbers.
Wait, group like all
Dragging.
of. No, I hate.
Yep.
This is. Okay,
Okay, we're going.
Bringing his head with you, by the way, or are you leaving it there?
I think we'll bring the head. I'll carry it.
If you want to grab the head, I'll drag the body.
And
Yeah, I'll, like have like the head like on like under one arm and like kind of like push from the back.
sure. And because of the way you've got the chain kind of running through him, it's not even really like he can fight back or struggle at all. You're like pulling center mass the length of his body. So he is flailing, but quite honestly, he's so light, it's really easy to sort of drag him across the incredibly dirty, dingy floor of these tunnels as you go with minimal effort. Where in particular are you heading? Because as you get outside, you see that Gabriel is not there.
Well, we had talked about going back up to Lonnie, so I think just that direction,
Yeah.
especially considering like we know
Because this tunnel also
We
leads
know
to
the
the
way
action
back.
park, right?
Yeah, this tunnel leads, to pretty much every place in the park. There's
Okay.
so just back the way we came, basically.
Gabriel, are you heading back that way, or are you sticking around over here?
I'm just listening for how long Lonnie goes. Like I'm like trying to figure like I'm timing this more or less, just being like, how long is Lonnie going to continue to rip and tear at this, or is it just
How many minutes are you willing to wait to find out?
until my friends find me?
Okay. Takes about 10 minutes of this before it finally starts to settle down. And then you hear silence. And it just sort of lingers. And then there's a slam on the door in front of you. Hard enough that parts of the metal door imprint with the faintest outline of like a clawed hand. And then silence again.
I know you're mad, but I think your friends also deserve the chance to have a piece.
Silence.
I'm going to keep my promise, Lonnie. We're going to help you.
You hear nothing except from behind, where you can hear footsteps echoing towards you, along with the echoed rattling of chains and a thumping sound that you can figure out pretty easily what the source of it is.
I start walking back to my friends.
As you step away from the door, very faintly you hear, muffled from the other side, "Thank you." Almost faint enough that you're not sure you heard it.
We're not quite even yet.
To your friends.
Hey, Bill, how you feeling?
What have you done?
Ted, does Ted have the head?
Yeah.
Do you see out of this thing, Bill, or is it like the body that you see? Where's your perspective from?
What did you do?
Well, I want to look you in the eyes when I tell you the truth.
Well, you know where my eyes are.
Place the head down. Like I gestured for Ted to place the head down,
Mm-hmm.
and I squat down so that I'm like ever so slightly higher than it, and I go, now, personally, me and my family, we don't really believe in a heaven or hell, but certain people should be punished. And when you think the devil, I'll be the image in your head. And I just kind of scrunch up the head and pick it up, like squeeze it on the top and start looking at the others and go, Lonnie went for about 10, 11 minutes with it. So it's a good distraction piece. My guess is that the others won't be quite as nasty. So they'll probably wear out a little quicker.
When you say that, you hear the sound of the chains sort of rustling, and looking back, the bits of this body, as he is still, I believe, missing one of his legs and the other foot, and his head, begin sort of like pulling at these chains to try and get free, although there is really no way for him to do so.
It's going to be a little bit of suffering, Bill, but you'll be free in the end.
Fuck. Get the fuck off me. And he just keeps going as he tries to like pull at these chains.
We
Okay,
should
so
also
do
go
they-
back and get
Oh.
the other foot.
Well, these tunnels should lead to every area in the park, so we could just go drop pieces off on our way back to where we came in.
Could.
I think
Maybe like
that we might.
Christmas.
I mean, we could also. I think we could maybe, in case, like, just in case, we could just leave him behind. And Bill, you'd be a noble sacrifice for a couple of kids, right? I'd say, like you said, that you saw the light and that you had remorse, right? That would be a way to show that, right?
He like stops fighting for a minute and he goes, I'm sorry, what exactly are you suggesting?
I'm just saying that if we're getting chased, then I think that you would be happy to sacrifice yourself to save a couple of kids so they can get away.
So that they can try and free you from this eternal coil.
Well, if the alternative is piecing me out like a fucking cheesecake, yep, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, if there are a couple of pieces that we can drop off along the way, though, I'm not opposed to that.
See,
'cause
that undermines the sacrifice. That absolutely makes
I'm just going to give him a
That's-
kick.
Ah!
Bill, you're a bad person. Shut up.
We should also go get that other foot because, like I said, it wasn't even the leg, it was just the foot. And that
Okay.
bought 10 minutes.
All right. I'll run back and get it real quick.
Well, we got to go that way anyway, so if you're just a little bit up ahead of us.
I'll run and get it. I think I'm pretty certain I'm the fastest out of all of us.
Yeah, it's easy enough for you to run back and get it.
Readjust my hand so that I'm holding them from the lip instead of like the actual top. And I was like, this isn't because I feel bad, it's because my hand was cramping.
You just get like a grunt in response. Where are the group of you planning to head then?
I mean, I think that we need to make our way to the action park, and then like maybe if there's like one other zone like on the way, then we just drop a piece off and call it good.
The service
Yes,
tunnel,
yeah, like if
the
we
dark tunnel runs right through this, didn't we? See that? It's like multiple doors.
Yeah, so like if we pass by some areas with animatronics attached to them, we can just drop some pieces off on our way to the temple to turn off the power.
We find you emerging from the door that leads into the heart of Martin Moose's Action Park. As you exit, you find yourselves in like a little shack, like a hut almost. Ahead of you are a couple of like mostly deteriorated plushies of Martin and a couple of other like accessories. There's like a mug that's like um half his jetpack, and there's a bunch of other little like toys and figures. The first thing you notice as you exit is most of these things are damaged. Specifically, they seem to have small round holes littering them. Beyond that, you can see out into the rest of this portion of the park. Off, not too far in the distance, is this giant temple that sort of looms, shaped almost like a mixture between a castle and a sort of pyramid. And around that is a large loop, or most of what remains of a large loop that was once one of the roller coasters in this park, now broken and sort of hanging. You'll recognize that it is also part of the same ride that Gabriel, you saw when you were peering over at the Winter Wonderland back when you were being chased and trying to avoid Ollie. Between where you are in the temple are a couple of what look like pretty classic like stands for like carnival games. There's one that from where you are you can see it looks like it was a darts game. You would try and maybe pop like balloons or something. There's one that's like a shooting gallery, and then beyond that is a sort of open air walled in area that you recognize as the arcades. Besides the sound of the chains, whatever sound the rest of you make, everything seems quiet here. What would you like to do?
What's up with these little holes?
Martin didn't have a gun, did he?
Oh, last time I
He does
checked.
now.
Can I just like grab one of the plushies and just kind of like examine it like closely to just see if there might be any like indicators?
Sure, why don't you roll me your brains?
Okay. Let's see. Brains is a 2.
Could I also like lend my support with this? Like also taking a look at it.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to spend an
So you get
adversity token?
+2. Oh yeah.
Well, the good news though is that if you're giving me a +2, then that's a 12.
So you're kind of like looking over this thing, and Gabriel sort of like glances over your shoulder at it.
Actually, sorry, I forgot that it explodes.
Oh,
So that's a 20, actually.
that's so much better. Nice. So yeah, you're looking at it, and Gabriel's kind of like peering over your shoulder. You can see tiny, like almost scorch marks around a lot of these holes, and kind of squeezing the plush, you can feel small, hard bits inside. The two of you were able to put together pretty quickly that it seems like it's probably one of the guns from like the shooting range. It shoots like little BBs. So more likely
Okay.
than not, that's what did this. Whether it was from Martin or anyone else who may have broken in and given it a whirl, who knows?
Okay, so somebody with a BB gun did this. I guess I would be a little scared. I don't know how Martin would be able to operate that though.
We just need to work under the assumption that Martin currently has a rifle.
Okay, that's terrifying. As if this wasn't already scary to begin with. So I guess we just need to try to get to the temple as quietly as we can.
Also remember he's fast. He's like real fast too.
Okay, well, and I'm just gonna like point a thumb back at Bill. That's why we have that.
Kind of clumsy.
Yeah, a little bit, but like
Does
quick
have
and
a jet
chaos
plane.
is not a combination you want in a moose.
Psst.
What's up, Bill?
Just gonna point out, I love the sneaking idea, but also, and then he grabs the chain and like rattles it a little bit.
Don't worry, if you're doing that, we'll just have to drop a piece off.
He immediately stops. He like grips the chain really tightly to hold it in place so it doesn't keep making noise.
I mean, he can't be that heavy, right?
I mean, he's not that heavy, but it's still a chain.
Okay.
He-
Okay.
Tell you what,
Well then,
reach
okay.
down to your through your leg and just hold that bottom and hold that real tight.
Yep. Holding it real tight. We got this. Teamwork. Go team. Go team.
Tap him on like just like the upper back. Just like, there you go.
Okay. Well, I guess let's get going.
As you move forward, you hear very quietly from Bill, "What has my life become?"
You should have asked yourself that when you thought about killing children.
Yeah, it seems like that's probably true. And as you begin moving forward, um, there is no really grass or glass or bad like severe debris anywhere in here. And even stepping out into the like open air of the park, it seems very quiet. The It's almost eerie. Action Park specifically was always so loud. The sounds of the roller coasters whipping by and the screams of people of all ages as they rode them, the sounds of balloons popping and the BB guns going off and the like sounds that come from when people win prizes, the little sirens, footsteps everywhere, people hawking all sorts of food and drink, trying to get the attention of the children running around with their parents, desperately hoping to avoid paying $10 for a soda. It's odd here. And Martin was always so loud and so rambunctious and such a presence in this part of the park that walking out into the open midnight air in this dark, shadowy space, it almost feels like a completely different place. Even the moonlight seems to be blocked out by the top of that temple ahead of you, casting more of a shadow over an already almost pitch black area. Clouds rolling in to cover many of the stars. Silence just persists, lingering there. What would you like to do?
I mean, I think we just gotta go for it.
Yeah. Just try to move quick and quiet.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess. Here we go.
So, the group of you begin making your way forward towards the temple. And as you pass a lot of these stalls, you can see that they're all in different states of disrepair. A lot of the wooden paneling is rotted, degraded, fallen apart, fell victim to, thunderstorms and heavy winds and time. What was once painted wooden portraits of Martin sort of adorning the tops of these things, broken, crumbled, cracked. Some of them filled with more of those small holes. As you pass the shooting range, the shooting gallery, you see that one of the rifles is in fact missing half of the chain that kept them in place, just broken, hanging limp. What's on? Find yourself only a few steps from the entrance to this temple. A large gate sort of standing before it, always open, always open. The metal bars bent and rusted with time, weathered. Said something once, but that's gone. Barely pieces of letters clinging to it. You may recall, welcome adventurers. With an exclamation point at the end that bore Martin's signature scarf. Then hear it before you see it. Bang, cutting through the quiet. Small fleck flying past your head, Ted, past your face. And then splinters of wood flying out to meet you in the cheek, littering your face with tiny cuts. Before you get a chance to process this, you hear again. Da 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 da!
Oh God.
About 25 feet from where you are, you see him. Large animatronic of Martin Moose, antlers cracked, one missing the end, the other rising up high. His eyes just staring at you, bright, glowing red. The scarf laying flat, now mostly unraveled, pieces of it torn, holes strewn throughout. His body also missing pieces, revealing bits of what seem almost like a metallic rib cage. His feet completely, any of the fabric covering his feet completely faded away, leaving just the flat pieces of heavy metal on ball bearings that act as ankles. His arms rest atop the arches that come from the jetpack on his back, the controls that he would use for it in the puppet show, and the rifle raised up at the group of you. While still somehow he stands rigidly straight, head cocked slightly to the side as he stares at you, almost as though striking a pose. And then a second shot fires off. Ask everyone to roll me either a flight or a grit. Let me know which one
We're doing
you
a
pick.
grit.
I'm gonna go flight.
Who currently has Bill, by the way?
I think we all have bits of Bill, don't we?
I've been holding the chain.
You've been holding the chain. Okay, cool.
Because let's see, I have the head,
Mhm.
and then Ted has
The
the
leg.
leg. The leg,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Also, can I pass on some adversity token stuff just to give somebody like a little
Yeah.
push out of the way? This time it's gonna be Rosemary. I'm just gonna give Rosemary just like a little nudge out of the possible bullet angle.
Rosemary, did you roll?
You get a
flight?
+2 on that.
+2. Okay.
I got a 10.
Rosemary, did you roll flight or grit?
Oh, I rolled grit because I don't want to go sprinting. I kind of want to hold my ground
Sure.
because I've got a chain. So with the +2, that is 10.
Ed
15 on flight.
and Gabriel.
10 on grit.
Okay. So, Ted, you go diving out of the way towards the closest piece of cover finding yourself quickly scrambling behind another one of these sort of game stalls. Gabriel, Rosemary, the two of you stand fast as this BB flies past you, hitting another piece of wood behind you and sending splinters flying overhead. And Martin sort of jerkily turns his head from the pose to look at you. Well, darn! Never was a good shot anyway! And flings the rifle behind him. And as he does, you see his arm sort of jerk up and down as he struggles to finally bring it back down.
Gabriel, the leg.
Just wanna-
The leg.
Yeah, I'm gonna call up to him and just be like, "We're here to help. We brought a gift."
Oh boy, I love gives. And he and begins jerkily stalking towards you, complete with like full arm extension up and down each time, which sort of winces and grinds against itself. And you notice that after about 3 steps, the next one, his arm snags. And as it does, his entire walking motion seems to stop almost in mid-step, and he keeps repeating it over and over and over until finally he manages to sort of force his way through, continuing his way towards you.
I'm gonna like from my position. I'm just going to like take the leg. I'm gonna like throw it over, and then I'm like sprinting into the adventure zone.
And what about you, Rosemary? Gabriel?
Does it seem like he's taking the bait essentially?
So, Ted throws the foot up into the air. The foot, the leg, both? The whole piece, or
I think just the foot in this case.
you throw the foot up into the air, and Martin kind of stops in place, and his head looks up, and he follows it as it falls. And for a moment, the two of you can see him contemplating the foot. And slowly his head jerks back, and you can see his eyes zero in on the significantly larger portion that you have on the chain.
Oh shit.
And he begins his jerky walk again, this time faster, almost like he's trying to speed walk towards you. All
Well,
we've
got the head, so like,
step.
let's.
This is what you've done, Bill. And
No, don't you
Leave the
leave me.
body,
Don't
take
you
the
do it.
head.
No.
Leave the body, take the head.
all right, are you dropping the body there, Rosemary? Or
Yeah, as long as you've got,
Yeah, I got
you've
his
still
head.
got the head, then yeah,
Lenny, you
Martin
take
can have the body.
Do the two of
you don't need
take
to
off?
hold onto that chain so tight anymore.
The two of you take off towards the temple.
Yeah.
And as you do, again, you can hear now emanating from the head, no, don't you do it, fuck. And if you glance back, you can see the body sort of trying to drag itself with its arms. But
That
it is,
chain's doing a nightmare for it.
oh yeah, absolutely. The arm is getting tangled up and it's just barely moving. It kind of like rolls over itself. And Martin gets to it and he looks down and his head kind of jerks a bit. He goes, I've been waiting for you. And you make it into the temple. Inside the temple, you've been here before, but it's darker now. The only source of light are a number of these like light bulb fixture torches that are set to flicker, but not all of them seem to work, really creating a very dimly lit entrance area. At the far end is sort of a ticket taker booth that you would use to gain entry. Your parents would have to buy the ticket and then they'd hand it off and you get to go in. There are all sorts of vines and everything is sort of stylized like carved out stone under it. And there was once this persistent sort of um, drum beat that would play throughout. But what you hear as you enter instead is just dum, 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 just echoing off of everything. Just that repeating percussive sound. Dum, dum, dum. And then from behind you, outside, you hear the sounds of crashing and shattering and breaking and metal grinding. And the head in your arm, Gabriel goes, "What the fuck?"
It was a noble sacrifice.
I thought I was gonna get to make that sacrifice, but no, just leaving my body. What am I supposed to go back to now?
Well, I don't think that like if we get through this, you're not gonna have a problem, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Don't fuck this up, kid.
Keep us alive.
You may not have realized this, but I don't really have much of an avenue to do that anymore.
You have information. That's good enough.
Yeah, and as cartoons always say, knowledge is power.
Someone
Okay, let's
lied
get-
to you, kid. Money is power.
Gabe's gonna flip on the mag light. And all right, we don't have long.
Okay, we should just go as fast as possible. I mean, I know that he's not like the most coordinated, but oh god.
So, moving forward, the doors, which at one point were on like an automated system, would slide open, are now just stuck slightly ajar. Beyond them is a platform. Have any of you been in this temple before?
Oh yeah.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
Well, Gabriel, for you, it would be familiar. Through this door, you see a platform. You know that there's about a 4-foot drop from there and a rope that you can climb down. And originally, it was a bunch of colored panels that made up the floor. And you would have to step on the right colors to move ahead. Otherwise, it would fire off these like Nerf darts at you. And if you were a child of scruples and morals, you would start over. Though not everyone did. Easy enough to sort of push those doors open and make your way through into that area. More of the same, the vines, the torches, the carved stone, but a few of these panels seem to have fallen. Beneath them, you can see from the top platform, looks to be about a 7 or 8 foot drop down into the like basement of this particular building. The rope is frayed and does not look particularly trustworthy. There is, however, a ladder that is built in as well for when staff needed to get down there quickly on the far left side. You've seen it, you've never used it. They wouldn't let the kids use it, which in hindsight is probably not the best idea. They get to use the rope, but not the ladder.
How far of a drop down did you say it was again?
About 4 feet to drop down onto the paneled floor, and then from the holes that are scattered throughout, only about 2 or 3 of those panels that have fallen out, but it looks to be about an 8-foot drop.
Give me a sec, I'll drop down. He drops Bill down into the lower section. Just drops
With a
him.
little poof.
Yeah, and lays down on his stomach and just slides and like lowers himself to the ground. So come on, I'll help you down.
I am going to ask you, as you fall, to roll me either a flight or a brawn as you come down and the panel beneath your feet begins to shake and give out. Depending on if you're trying to jump to another panel or brace yourself against something to not fall.
The 7.
That flight or brawn.
Oh, that's the Braun. I didn't hear you quite. I was waiting for everything to catch up.
Sorry.
All right, sorry, that was DeBron. Yeah.
Okay. So the platform, the tile beneath your feet gives out, and you try to sort of throw yourself against something to grab at it, catching sort of the edge of the lip. But it's been a long night. Things have been exhausting, and your grip is not as good as you would like it to be. And you slip. To fall, one of your feet catching the edge of where the tile had been initially set. And it sends you careening backwards instead of just down. You land with a heavy thud on that tile in front of the one you had stepped on, which does seem to support your weight. But as you do, your leg comes down under you. And there's a searing pain that runs through your calf.
Oh, my same jacked up leg. Shit.
Okay, I think we need to try to get down there and help him.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the ladder.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
Watch the panels, they're falling out. Also, somebody grab Bill.
Do we have to?
I'll take the ladder down and kind of just like basically like tap panels before I step on them.
So you get down.
I guess.
Yeah.
Like,
please.
yeah, I guess that I'll begrudgingly like grab Bill.
Oh, hey, thanks.
Shut up, Bill.
So, taking careful steps to sort of tap at and test panels proves a pretty effective plan, allowing you to at least get over to Gabriel. From there, you still have to make your way the rest of the way across. Now with Gabe in tow. Gabriel, your leg is not supporting weight right now. Every time you try, it just buckles under you.
So I'm gonna kind of help him to his feet and kind of like get under his arm to support him on that side. It's like, okay, so
This, this is the leg that I screwed up with Ollie, so I don't think there's anything in my bag that can help.
Well, hopefully it's not much farther.
No, we got a little bit to go.
When I get up there, I'm gonna like take my flannel off and I'm going to like hold it over. And could you like tie this around it? Would that help?
Is there like, if we can find something like sturdy to tie next to it and kind of splint it, maybe.
You could try. I'm so sorry. Hang on. You could try breaking off pieces from the like setting where the floor panels were. That would probably work. They're not ideal, but you know that with a little bit of muscle, they will probably come free. They clearly haven't been upkept in any way recently.
I mean, I'm probably not the best one to try to break them off, but if Ted's willing to try to,
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
What about the hammer? It's a claw hammer, right?
Yeah, so I'll like flip it over and I'll like try to like hit it and just try to like pry it out as best I can.
Sure. Why don't you roll me a brawn?
That's a 5.
You bring that hammer down, or no, you're trying to pry it off, right?
Yeah.
Sorry. So you sort of hook the claw end in and start pulling back and trying to leverage your weight. And there's a groaning sound and a bit of a creak, but it doesn't seem to budge.
You gotta go for the corners.
Okay, well, I don't think I can get it.
Okay, that's... How long has it been since we got in here? Just like checking my watch.
A couple of minutes.
We got like only a couple more minutes till. Bill, is he still beating the crap out of you?
Really?
Well, it's either you let us know now or we have to drop your head here and hope that he finds you.
Yes, he is still fucking me up.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Then-
no, great, not a problem. Noble sacrifice.
I'm sorry. Is he putting you into agonizing pain right now?
Hang on. Oh, God, it hurts. Oh, this is terrible. I hate it so much. Oh, the agony. Why won't it stop? Never ending torment and pain.
I'm gonna give him a bop with a hammer. Bill,
Yes.
you know what I'm gonna say next, right?
Shutting up.
God. Man, this must be how my sister feels about me sometimes. I feel like I need to reevaluate my life.
okay. So I don't know if this would work like how I'd like it to work. Could I? So Gabriel knows this area. Could I essentially use one of my adversity tokens, or I'm even willing to gamble 2 of them, to essentially let him use my intuitive feat to be able to answer this question I have about the surroundings?
Interesting. Yeah, I'll let you do it for one.
Basically, I just want to know. So the panel fell through the floor. Is there any chance that us going underneath this area would help us avoid some of the rotting pieces, essentially, and let us get up? Basically, just take the easier route to the center.
Okay. I like that. So,
That also falls into Rosemary having studied the notes before.
mhm. Yeah, because you've seen the blueprints.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. I will take one adversity token, and yeah, so you kind of have to sit there for a moment and sort of think about what the layout of this place was from what you've seen. You can, ask Gabriel about what he remembers. Um, so Gabriel obviously has never been down into that basement area.
Bill
These
has.
panels, what?
But Bill would know.
Oh, that's very true. Bill would know. Um, and you can obviously ask Bill, who will explain to you that if you did manage to get down there, you would be able to more or less take that route from the basement up into the main room of the temple, the end room before the staff room, where the idol is and all of that. It was something they had to build in for, safety reasons. They had to be able to access that without having to go through all of this. And in case any of the kids ever got hurt, because, this was one of the more dangerous areas, just with the kids running around and things, sometimes not always going great. They wanted to be able to have somewhere that they could remove the kids without having to march them back through all the other kids and freak out kids and parents. So yeah, if you can make it down there, there absolutely is a way. It's almost a straight shot.
Bill, there's a level of irony about you thinking about safety precautions.
Not so much that. Look, they had people who would come out and like do these random inspections, so we really had to keep everything up to code.
Did they never go into the maintenance areas where all of the body parts were?
Not the ones who got paid well enough.
Oh my god!
Sure
Like this
that
entire place
works.
is just evil.
Joyful.
Can we please move me underneath the floor?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
gonna kind of like shine the flashlight and like see how far of a drop it is, and
A
I'll
7 or
I'll
8
go
foot
first this time. 7 or 8. Fuck.
Well, I mean, like,
Sure.
is there a way that do we have anything that could like help lower you down? Like, what about like if you like held onto my backpack and we and then like Gabe held onto my feet and then we just kind of like lowered you down that way, just like get you at least a little closer.
You could do that. I don't need both my legs to drop you down.
Yeah, I mean, at least if I get down there, I can kind of see if there's any better place to drop down.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. And I would like to spend some adversity tokens to try to give Rosemary a hand because I have a feeling a roll's going to come about.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Can we both spend, or is only one of us?
Yep, you can both spend if you want.
All right.
Okay. So that's one adversity token to give a +1 from me.
And one for two.
You'll
So
have
plus three.
Sorry about that. Okay. So I'm going to give you an option. You can either roll me a brawn to try and stick this landing hard, or you can roll me a grit to try and acknowledge that you're not going to land perfectly and power through whatever.
I'm gonna do grit because that's got a better chance of success.
You'll have +3 to your roll.
All right, that is a 9.
Getting some help getting lowered part of the way definitely plays a big role in this. And then you drop down. It's a bit of a fall. You before you fall into the room proper, you do go through a bit of the stuff between the two levels. There's insulation and whatever else. but you manage to come through unscathed and you hit the ground. There's a bit of a shock that kind of reverberates through your body, but you can tough that out easily enough. Um, what is around you is honestly not particularly interesting or exciting. It's just a gray hallway that opens into a wider room that has a couple of like CCTV panels, um, a chair stationed by it, so someone can keep watch. There's a vending machine in the corner that's kind of like cracked and broken, and there's a couple of like empty cans scattered about by it. There are some posters on the walls that are mostly shredded and ripped apart, but from what you can see of them, they were either just garbage motivational posters or like safety procedure posters. And then the hallway that leads down on the other side has a long set of stairs going up about 30 feet from where you are, and a series of doors on either side that you can pretty easily piece together lead to different parts of the temple.
Does it seem like there's a better entrance to here to the room that they are in? Now that I'm like down here and fully
Yes.
visible.
So to your left, there is a door that has a staircase that seems to go up and then turn. You can tell through the like thin glass window in the door. Just based on the spacing of the room you were in, where you are now, that probably goes up into the same room all the way off to like the left side. So if they can get there, it's probably just a straight staircase. The two staircases rather down.
All right, I'm gonna call up to them. Then it's just go to the far left. I should be able to get a door open for you guys.
Okay.
Heading over there is easy enough. Um, from both ends of this, Gabriel, you're slowed pretty noticeably by
More
this.
or less crawling, like just
Well,
pulling himself.
Can I like try to like hold him up? Just I know that I'm like small and not the strongest kid, but figure
Yeah,
that I
if you're just gonna like support some of his weight,
yeah.
yeah, I'm not gonna make you roll or anything for that. You can absolutely do that.
I'm just gonna like look up at Gabe and just just one of those days.
Yeah, I guess it is.
So the three of you from the two respective sides make your way over. Um, Rosemary, when you get to the top of the stairs, there's one of those like push bars. And you push it, and part of from the other side, you see part of the wall sort of open outwards. You see Rosemary, only about a foot or two away. As you approach, you hear footsteps echoing, heavy, plodding, grinding steps.
Oh no.
And then through the open doors at the platform, you see flying into view a heap of shredded purple. And it falls about teetering on the edge of this platform and then flops over and falls down onto the panels. And it is just a wreck. It is just shreds and string and just nothing else at this point. And you hear Bill in your arm go, 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 go.
Can like as we like close the door behind us, can I use my unassuming strength to try to like help us at least like hide at least a little bit?
Interesting. So read me exactly how that works.
So for unassuming, I can spend 2 adversity tokens to not be seen within reason. Up to at your discretion.
Right. Yeah, I'll let you have it.
All right.
So you spend those tokens, and and you pull that door shut just as you sort of see the shadow of Martin moving into the room. The door is closed, and then you hear faintly muffled on the other side, "I know you're here somewhere."
We're like, turn. Let's go.
Yeah, let's fucking get the fuck out of here, please. Go. I'm gonna find you. It sort of fades.
Good.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Help. I'm gonna help Ted get Gabriel like basically down the stairs as quickly as we can safely go.
As you get down the stairs, you can hear Martin a lot clearer, actually, because of the openings behind you. But it doesn't look like he's either looking down there or noticed that you're there at all. And you can hear the footsteps as he gets towards the end of that raised platform. I assume the group of you are moving forward towards the end of the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
And as you get just about to the stairs, you hear Martin above you go, "Well, that won't do. All right." And then you hear what sounds almost like a car engine revving. And then there's a moment of backfire. And then you hear followed by a crashing sound. The sound of
real fucking jetpack.
the sound of metal colliding with a solid wall. Well, no, but that's what it just worked, I guess. And then you hear.
You're an idiot.
Yeah, but I mean, it sounds like it kind of worked in our favor because that didn't sound like he got through whatever he hit.
Okay,
I've
good.
never seen him
Let's
use
not
it
waste
before.
any time then.
I am going to drop for a second, if that's all right, because my things aren't showing up, my captions.
Captions? Yeah, go for it.
All right, let's see here.
Perfect.
Hope it's back. All right, yeah, it is.
You're good. So you make it to the stairs. Going up the stairs is a bit of an arduous process, at least for you, Gabriel. But you make it. At the top of that door is another push bar. Easy enough to push open, assuming the group of you want to.
Probably, but carefully.
Rosemary, the second you see him, you and Theodore run like hell. You're going to leave me behind because I trust you to get there fast enough to end it all. I have Bill with
You're
me.
holding on to Bill. You're holding on to
Exactly.
Bill. You'll use him if you need to.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm getting at.
Okay.
You're not leaving me. I'm just slower than you.
Okay.
You got this.
All right. All right.
I'm gonna peek out the door to see if he's in sight or if I can hear anything.
Open just a bit so you can peek out. You can see from where you are, it's about 8 or 9 feet to the center of the room, where somehow pristine. The little idol that had always been there sits atop a fancy stone pedestal. Beyond that, you hear clicks and whirs of a mechanism, but it doesn't seem to be within your line of sight from where you are. Against the likely coming from the wall that you share with the door. You do hear do 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 it just persists.
I think he may have knocked himself out.
Perfect timing.
Yeah. Let's go.
Let's go.
Door and you step out into the room. As you do, you see the front half of Martin's body stuck through the wall. Most of the covering has been peeled back, ripped off, exposing just the metal frame beneath. Large eyes that seem to have veins in them, and the large protrudence of his maw sort of cracked. Part of the jaw has been, the metal itself has been sort of wrenched back, likely caught on a something within the wall itself. And even the upper half of his body, one of his arms is still pinned, the other one is free, and he seems to be trying to like claw at the wall to drag himself outwards. You can see bits of the metal of his fingers starting to sort of break away as he does, leaving behind deep claw marks, but also flecks of metal as he tries to no avail. And he sees you, and that whining sound continues as he watches, his head twitching every so often, and his arm sort of reaching out to you. Initially, it seems menacing, but it becomes obvious fairly quickly that it's not him trying to grasp for you, or at least it doesn't seem like it is. It is almost like he's asking for help. You hear
I'm
another
gonna
sputtering
call out to
sound.
him
Yes.
and just be like, "We're trying to help you, but you have to let us get through here first. It'll be over soon, but you have just stop trying."
His head sort of jerkingly looks so that he can focus on you, in the eyes sort of like almost spin in the head towards you, and over the whining sound that seems to be at this point sort of permanently coming out from his voice box, you hear the end is never the end, is never the end. And he just keeps repeating that.
Well, that's terrifying, and I'm definitely not going to be sleeping well ever again.
He's sort of twitching and reaching out. You can see the gears moving as he's trying to like worm his way through the hole in the wall, but it's just not big enough.
Just hobbling by, pressed up against the wall and on Rosemary's shoulder. Just he looks over and he says, "It might not be the end, but it won't hurt anymore."
Doesn't respond. He just keeps repeating it over and over.
It's really
Come on,
not
Ollie's still
liking
stuck.
me on the audio capture right now.
I still got you on the captions.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That thing I just said did not pop up.
Weird.
Okay, can we get this over with, please?
Yeah, let's go while he's still stuck.
Just over there. You two move. Bill and I will make our way there.
Easy walk. You see the sort of faint outline in the wall easily enough, and you push on it, and it sort of sinks in and then pops back out, and you can pull the door open. Pulling it open, you see a small room inside. Beyond that, this one is very different. It doesn't share any of the features of this place. It doesn't have the vines. It doesn't have the carved out stone walls. This is seemingly just an office. Well, it was an office. There's no furniture though, save a large, almost like a dresser against the back wall with glass panels. Inside are 8 jars. The walls themselves are decorated in all sorts of strange symbols and markings, very easily noticeable as dried blood, old dried blood. Some you've seen before earlier, either in the tunnel or at the tower, some completely new and different. But Rosemary, you still recognize these from your previous research. In the center of the room is a circle, also drawn in old, dried out blood, with more of these symbols, one at each of 7 points, forming a 7-pointed star. Center of that lies a book, old, leather bound. There's no anything to distinguish it from any other book, really, besides the age of it, I guess. No title, no text, nothing that makes it stand out.
Okay, what are we looking at, Bill?
Uh, I mean, you could call it a generator, you could call it the source, you could call it whatever you want, really. But this is it. This is where we want to be.
Okay, so what? We just destroy this thing, or
Uh,
Kick the book out of the way? What do you want us to do?
you see the cabinet back there?
Yeah.
Okay, so think of that like a giant breaker box, and inside of it are the batteries. You take those out, you break them down, boom, done. Real simple.
What are you using as the batteries?
Only a couple steps away from finding out.
I'm just gonna reach over and just shake the head.
and I want to like take the head and just like make it so he's like looking at me. I just want you to know before this is over, you're an ass butt.
He's trying, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, well, go team.
I'm gonna go and look in the cabinet.
Going over, even before you open these doors, it's pretty easy to tell. These jars have floating in them what look like, well, you can only sort of assume, having never seen one of these before in your life, hearts beating. And it's in this moment that you realize that percussive sound that you've heard since entering this temple, beating to the same beat. Every single one. You can see under them on the shelves that they are sitting on the faintest bit of more of that dried blood. But you can't see what's directly underneath, just that there are smudges there.
Any steps we have to take before getting them?
But if I had to guess, I'd say get ready to run. Oops.
What?
Well, nothing's sustaining the park after this, huh?
Won't the power just shut down?
I mean, we're fucking with some stuff real far ahead of Con Ed, huh? If you catch my drift. Who knows? I mean, it's gonna stop working, but I don't know what that's gonna look like.
That's, you know what? We have a pretty straight shot out now that we know about the emergency entrance. Do you think that I should start making I want to see this through with you both, but should I start making my way?
I think we can
I
help
want-
you get out. Right, Rosemary? We can help him if he wants to stay, right?
I'm more worried about an adventure park coming down on top of us and me slowing you down. I'm not saying bailing. I'm just gonna go start walking towards the stairs.
Okay.
Come on, Bill, you have one more apology to make.
Fuck. Yeah, all right.
And Gabriel walks out and he holds Bill kind of like in so that he's like looking at Martin. He's like, this is everything you created, Bill. This is what people will remember. And hopefully those pictures we took developed, because that'll be a real fun headline to be remembered under.
Well, the fucked up end.
It's one hell of a legacy, huh?
Hell of a ride.
Feel any remorse towards them?
Towards them? Nah.
No. Nothing?
Want me to lie?
Slides, like bowls the head just under Martin.
The hand that had been reaching out reaches down to grab the head. Pulls it away from you if you let it. Here,
Hi, Martin.
your Bill going, no, 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 no. And Martin realizing that he can't do much just begins absolutely smashing this thing against the wall and trying to like create leverage so he can rip and tear at it.
Use your mouth,
And-
buddy.
As he does, you can hear Bill's voice sort of fading just a bit, getting fainter as it continues to get torn and ripped and slammed around. Fuck!
Starts walking down the hallway towards where the stairs are.
If I take a little bit of time to like really try to analyze this cabinet, do any of them look different enough that it might be Bill's?
I'll
on
let
an
you
adult
roll.
heart.
I mean, yeah, I'll let you roll me your brains. It's gonna be a real low roll too. You don't gotta
I
get
feel like it would be more appropriate for hearts.
much.
16.
Oh, that's what? Yeah, one of these is noticeably larger than the others, and it's definitely Bill's. But with the 16, I will also tell you that as he explained it, these are batteries powering the park. So he will probably persist, but in whatever weird, twisted way, so will the park. Whatever
Just
that
gonna
may mean.
look at Ted and go, we remove that one last.
Yeah, yeah, but I will say I think we've made him suffer a good amount for this. Okay, I'm just gonna hold out the hammer to you.
And I think there's no respectful way to destroy someone's heart in a jar. But I think she does try her best of like gently gently setting them down and then like systematically breaking the jars.
Apologizing to each one. Yeah.
And as you move them, you see there are more of those symbols, one under each jar, and each one has another, what looks like maybe some kind of script, maybe some kind of letter or something underneath, but those you do not recognize. Bringing the hammer down, as soon as the jar shatters, the heart inside it, as it falls out onto the floor, spilling with whatever this liquid is, seems to immediately catch fire. As it does, it is reduced almost immediately to ash. And the liquid ignites as well, spreading outwards. It's not a lot of fire in any particular one, but as you go, more of these flames do begin to build. And you'll notice as you go through them that the circle in the center of the floor seems to be burning away under this. As you go through them, the flames grow. By the time you get to that last jar, the room is uncomfortably on fire, burning. The sigils and symbols on the walls burning away with the licks of flame. Smoke beginning to fill this room. Last jar.
I think I just look at Ted and go, ready to run?
Yeah, been ready. Let's go.
And I smash and then grab his arm and run.
You smash the jar, and again the heart lights, but this time the flame is black. And instead of reducing to ash, it burns. And it stays burning as it sort of floats out on the flaming liquid to the center of that circle. And then as you exit the room, you can hear the sound of the flame erupting, consuming that room. And the smoke billows out behind you. But even as this fire grows, you know how to get out. You know where you're going. You know where you're going. And even with Gabriel slowed, you always seem to be 1 or 2 steps ahead. As you make your way back through the park, you come across, well, what are the remnants of these animatronics? Now slag, burning. Their portions of the park also ablaze. Things collapsing left and right as you go, but the flames seem almost set on not blocking your path out. And so even as you run through seas of roaring flame, you are not singed, you are not harmed, you are not choked by smoke. It's easy enough for you to find your way back to that wooden board that had been broken out. Each of you make your way back out. And you can see it now from the outside, even from the tall gates, the fencing around it, these flames burning high. And in the owlry, in that tower, the light flickers once and goes out. And for a moment, you see, or you think you see, all of them standing there, looking out at you. And then the tower erupts in flame. Take a few steps back, and you can feel the ground trembling beneath your feet. And then the park collapses. Towers and coasters and buildings, the entire wonderland falling in on itself. But it doesn't stop there. It continues to fall, sinking into the earth. Until all that's left is a smoldering pit. That is the end of Ollie. Now, at least. I'd like to take a moment and thank the three of you for being here and being a part of this. Because this was an amazing, absolutely phenomenal thing that we got to do. And I appreciate you all so much. I also want to take a moment and thank our wonderful audience for being here and being supportive and engaging and keeping things going. I'm sad that we're done. God's damn if I don't think this was an awesome story, and I couldn't have asked for anyone better to have here to tell it with. To that end, I'm going to pass things around so that one last time everyone can remind you who they are, what they do, where you can find them, and all that fun stuff. Andrew, let's start with you.
All right. This is very bittersweet. This was so much fun. First of all, I just want to say that, Lion, thank you for being such like an awesome game master and facilitating this game to begin with. But I am Andrew. I am that gamer Ajax on basically all the socials. Mostly active on Threads these days. I run a YouTube channel that is that gamer Ajax, where I give tips and tricks, guides, early impressions on a wide variety of tabletop games because there's a lot of games out there, and sometimes like it's a little hard to get started and might be a little intimidating. So I'm trying to make that process easier for you. But I just want to help people be the best tabletop enthusiasts that they can be. Newest thing that I've been doing though is I am a game master on Start Playing. At the moment, I have some openings for Monster of the Week. You can find me on Start Playing by looking at that gamer Ajax, my handle there. And if you ever want to play a game with me, feel free to give it a shot.
You should. You absolutely should. Because Andrew's amazing, and being at his table is always so much fun. So do the thing. Go do the thing. Zach.
Hey, everybody. I can drop the voice acting stuff and just have a sore throat for a little bit now. If you forgot that this is how I'm sounding right now. I'm Zach. I run a podcast called Scheduled for Launch, where you can find me all over the place on all the socials at that same title. Sometimes it's FOR, other times it's the number 4, depending on how many digits they let you use. But all over on all the socials. I have not found a new home yet for where I like to post, because everything is not what I intended to be. You can find my podcast everywhere that you get podcasts. I was about to talk about something, and I don't know if we can yet. I'll leave that to Lion for now. Yeah. Oh, you can catch me tomorrow on RPGs Uncovered or my own Twitch stream, Astroceratops, where we're going to be playing more Behind These Eyes, which is a Baldur's Gate 3 actual play kind of thing we're doing, where we're kind of making up our own story as we go. It's been a lot of fun. There's been like a lot of really good RP moments. That game's super bizarre when you don't use any party members. Like, it feels like you miss a lot of cutscene, and you realize how antagonistic your entire party is, and if you actually sat down at a table with them, how miserable of an experience it would be to play 5th edition with any of those characters.
I have so many thoughts that I'm keeping to myself about this.
I love
game
it.
and
It's
that
very
thing.
good. It's very good, but it's not a great representation of a 5th edition kind of style thing.
No.
Spoiler alert, we killed Asterion in the first episode because he held a knife to our throat.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, so catch me there or Astroceratops. We're going to be doing other things. We're already talking. We had such a fun time as this group that we're already talking about things. So, more on that later.
Great.
That's me. You can find me. I'm still using Twitter because Musk can pry it out of my cold dead hands, and I keep forgetting that Blue Sky exists. So
That's
eventually
my main
I'll
thing too.
actually use it. But realistically, like Twitter will have to like fully burn to the ground before I'm gonna remember. You can find me there under Slender Noya. You can also find me over on Exquisite Corpse Presents. I am the director of operations over there, as well as one of the main cast members. We just finished our Halloween event where I think we had like, I think it ended up being like 13 or 15 tables. October was rough for everybody, and a lot of tables got canceled just because people were going through it. But we still hit our goal of $500 raised for takethis.org. So that's still exciting. I'm also very, very tired because that was a whole month of games, and that's a lot. But so we're probably going to be quiet for a little bit, but we are still doing Sister Cities on Saturdays where I am playing Abandoned Hope. We're still doing Naissance. I don't think we're going to be live this Sunday because we're doing a bunch of cool pre-recorded stuff. We're bringing in some guests. We're going to have some villains. So keep an eye out for when we do all that stuff. But I play a Dream Mirror playbook from Thirsty for Lesbians over there. I think that's all I'm doing right now. It feels weird not only having a couple things because the event's over.
You said that's all you're doing,
That
and that
was
was
still
still like
a
7
bunch of stuff,
things.
yeah.
Technically, I still have to do event work because I still have to like do all the YouTube uploads and stuff. But like, it's a lot less than I was doing. It's weird, but I'm very excited.
And all of that on top of a grown-up job.
Listen, I like to pretend that I don't have a grown-up job.
Same. Same.
And because I get yelled at if I don't do it. I'm Lion. I'm the creative director and founder for Tales from the Table Studios. You can find me here with stuff, and I'll have something to say about that in a minute. You can also find me, I think on Friday at Exquisite Corpse Presents for a new episode of Kel's Kitchen, which is a phenomenal show that combines food competition and TTRPG, which are two of my secret passions, and I'm so glad to be able to be a part of that, and we'll see how.
I mean,
that
is the TTRPG a secret though?
That's fair.
Tales
That's
from
fair.
the Table
Yeah.
Studios.
Okay. So it combines one of my secret
tabletop
passions
role-playing
with
games.
the other not so secret passion.
There you
we
go.
I'm tired. I haven't been sitting here drinking a non-sponsored Ghost energy drink this entire time. I have no excuse.
Listen, this stuff is my blood now.
I have like 6 water bottles and a
Nice.
teacup
Um,
because I sound like I ate a boulder.
you will also be able to find me on Saturdays here at Tales from the
Whoa.
Table Studios. Starting in 2 weeks on the 11th. I'm pretty sure I have that right.
Yep.
With our first episode of a new series where we will be running Beam Saber. Carbon I can't speak English for some reason. I'm terribly sorry. I don't know what's going on with me today.
It's a big name too, so
It's a big
it's
name.
a big name.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna try this one more time. We definitely got it this time. Carbon Courage and Contrition, a new Beam Saber game that we're gonna be running. We have an amazing cast lined up. We're gonna be running every other Saturday. I will be your tail slinger for that game. I cannot wait to introduce you to our wonderful cast, crew, and the squad that they will be playing. You'll be able to find out more about that over on our socials at TFTT Studios on Twitter and Blue Sky, or at the Lion Knight 42 over on Twitter, because that's where I post a lot of stuff as well. So if you want to keep up to date with that, and you should, definitely check those out. Um, we have a Ko-Fi if you want to support us. That's a really good way to do it, because who wants to give Amazon more money here? I definitely don't. So you can go check that out. We have a bunch of membership tiers with some really cool options at different tiers. One of which includes something that we'll be working to fulfill immediately after going off air, because we do talkback shows with all of our shows across all of our casts every month. That was backwards, with all of our casts across all our shows every month. And those are going to be uploaded there, so you'll be able to see those, hear a little bit about what's going on, what people are thinking, what everyone's feeling, and thoughts on how this game went from our amazing cast, because they are amazing. You could also use that to keep up to date, because we post a bunch of updates on projects that we have, things we've been working on, ideas that we want to explore, and more. And that stuff is all free. And over on our Ko-Fi, in the event that you really enjoyed this and are like, I would love to play this for myself. Well, good news. I have published One Night at Ollie's. You can find it over on our Ko-Fi at the link in the chat. You can also find it over on our itch, I think. So you can check it out there as well. It's completely free. Feel free to go grab it, play it. If you do, the only thing I ask is that you let me know how it went, what you liked, what you didn't like, because, there's more Halloweens coming. And as far as I'm concerned, that means there's more Ollies coming. But we have a whole year to talk about that. Whew. And with that, we also have a YouTube. I have to talk about the YouTube. That's what I forget. We have a YouTube where all of our stuff is archived, all of our shows. You'll be able to find this episode up on there next week. Episodes 1 and 2 are up there now. And you'll also be able to find some exclusive YouTube content. We do a series called Roll for Perspective, where I sit down with amazing people within the community to talk about all things TTRPG and TTRPG adjacent. I've been lucky enough to have some phenomenal guests, and I'm going to have more on very soon with some new uploads coming in the next couple of weeks. So, until next time, remember to eat your food, drink your water, take care of yourself, do the things you got to do, and always tell your tales. Love you. Until next time.